Hi everyone. First Observation is a science article from In the Shadow of Man. The science article was written by Jane Goodall. Jane Goodall studied chimpanzees in the Gombe Stream Chimpanzees Sanctuary in Tanzania, a country in Eastern Africa. She lived in the sanctuary for months and won the trust of the chimpanzees. She studied their social, emotional, and instinctual behavior. Her research shows how closely related humans and chimpanzees truly are. The selection includes her first-hand account, which illustrates in intriguing details the strong connection between chimpanzees and humans. Theme of observation or observing animal behavior is one of the main themes in this article. Animals observation can be made in different ways. It could be via video or in person. Since Jane Goodall is interested in observing animals' lives, she pioneered the study of chimpanzees in the wild. Her interest appears in the beginning of the article as she decided to set off for the mountain once the fever left her. By reaching the peak of the mountain, she chooses a place that offers her a superb view over the home valley in order to be able to reach for signs of chimpanzees through her binoculars. Through her observation, she could notice a number of habits about the chimpanzees. The first assumption she supposed is that chimps would be less afraid of one person completely alone. She has also noticed some kinds of behavior while feeding. Fruit is the main component of the chimpanzee diet. Group of chimps join each other while feeding through violent swaying of branches and while calling. Generally, they follow each other in one big group and long orderly lines. However, single chimpanzees could be seen. Goodall also notices and substantiates temporary, constantly changing associations of individuals within the community. By using the outcome of Goodall's study, scientists knew much about chimpanzees and their lives. After reading the text, we're going to answer the close reading questions. And the first question is, based on what you have read so far, what can you infer about Jane Goodall's previous relationship with the chimpanzees? Use examples from the text to support your answer. A possible answer for this question is, previously Goodall didn't have much of a relationship with the chimpanzees. For example, she is pleasantly surprised when the chimps don't run away, and she describes this experience as by far the best day. The second question is, how does the author change her behavior in order to get closer to the chimpanzees? The answer is, the author travels to the peak and observes them alone. Also, she wears the same dull clothes so that she is recognizable and doesn't follow or try to interact with the chimpanzees. The third question is, what details does the author provide to confirm her impression that chimpanzees associate with a variety of individuals in their communities? The author shares her personal observation. Nothing that she saw group of chimpanzees travel to interact with other individuals and groups. The fourth question is, in your own words, explain how the chimpanzees build their nests. First, chimpanzees choose a fork or intersection of branches. Then, they fold in small branches to build a nest for their bodies. After this foundation is built, some chimpanzees gather leaves and twigs to make pillows for their heads. The fifth question is, why does the author name the chimpanzees instead of identifying them with numbers? Goodall is more interested in the difference between individuals, and giving the animals different names helps her to see them as individuals. She also feels that names are easier to remember than numbers. And this takes us to another theme, which is anthropomorphism. Anthropomorphism means when you deal with something or an animal as a person. The following question is, at many points, the author organizes her ideas chronologically or in time order. Cite words and phrases on this page that show chronological organization. Chronological means when things or events are arranged according to time. So some of these phrases: by then it was October, suddenly I stopped, and after a moment. The last question: read the paragraph starting on the 8th day. Which details support the author's view that chimpanzees use tools intentionally or in an intended way? Goodall watched the chimpanzees repairing their tools by biting off the ends, carefully selecting stems to use, and most exciting of all, stripping leaves to turn twigs into tools, which Goodall calls the first recorded example of a wild animal actually making a tool. Now let's go through the new words, and the first word is exhilarated. Exhilarated means full of energy, and the synonym is cheerful. The antonym is depressed. An example for this: we felt exhilarated by our walk along the beach. The second word is harass. Harass means continually annoy. A synonym for this word: irritate, and the antonym of harass is soothe or aid. An example for this: the enemy didn't harass us much while we were constructing our batteries. Substantiated. Substantiated means proved by evidence. The synonym is justified or proved. An antonym is reject or disprove. An example for this: the results of the tests substantiated his claims. The following word is mystical. Mystical means relating to the spiritual or the supernatural. A synonym for mystical is magical, and the antonym is natural. An example for mystical is it's a mystical experience for him. The following word is preceding. Preceding is an adjective which means coming first. A synonym for preceding is introductory. An antonym is later. An example for this: he had proved this by approaching the cabin of the trapper of the preceding night. The following word is belligerent. Belligerent means aggressive or stubborn. Belligerent is a synonym for aggressive and an antonym for nice. An example for this: watch out, Lee is in a belligerent mood. The last word is anthropomorphic. Anthropomorphic means described as if having human characteristics despite being non-human. Synonym for anthropomorphic is human-like, and the antonym is non-human. An example for this: Donald is an anthropomorphic white duck with a yellow-orange bill, legs, and feet. By then we have reached the end of the video, hoping it has been helpful to you.